Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time it is a vlog. I haven't done one of these in a bit. The reason why I'm doing this is because I got another package from Johnathan Lindsey, and I wanted to do an unboxing, and he wanted me to do an unboxing, so I definitely decided that this is a good time to do that. Also, I got a nice little Christmas card from Travis. I wanted to thank him for that. And I did get a decent handful of stuff recently, so I wanted to kind of show them off on camera, to make it so the second part of my update video, which I haven't gotten around to yet because I did a total reorganization of my bedroom. So the stacks that I had set aside are now kind of strewn around different places, so I have to try to find them and get them together in order to do that video, and I will definitely get around to doing that. It's just one of those things that it just depends on how I'm feeling and whether or not I have the free time to do it. But before I really get into any of this stuff, I want to say thank you for supporting my channel for all these years. Thanks for watching my videos, leaving nice comments and stuff like that. I really appreciate them. And I know I haven't been really doing a whole lot. I've been behind. I haven't been posting as much content lately, and there's a good reason for that. I got a job, so I've been working at which is kind of ironic. Like, I've been working at Michael's, so I've been working at Michael's, and I've honestly I like it. I like my job. I like helping people. I've always liked helping people. And it can get a bit hectic and it can get a bit crazy sometimes, but the managers are great, the employees are all great. I mean, I get along with everybody really well, and I'm starting to pick things up really well, and it's a huge boost to me personally. I haven't held a job. I haven't had a job in so long. I was starting to lose faith in the fact that anyone would really want to hire me or think that I would be worth hiring or giving the opportunity to help them, and this has just been everything that I could have ever asked for and then some in terms of how things have gone. So yeah, so because it's the retail business and it's the holidays, I've been busy. I've been really just cramming in a lot of hours, and I've been working my ass off. So that's the main reason why I haven't really been posting a lot of content, is because I work and then I get home and I just want to chill, and I don't really want to sit down and do a video. But and I haven't really had a lot of free time either, because I also had to balance different projects and stuff for WSU Vancouver for classes over there. But now my term is pretty much over for this particular series of classes at WSU, so I have a little bit more free time. And so I'm going to try to catch up with things the best I can. So it's just be one of those things, folks, that whenever I post something is whenever I post it. It's not that I've given up or that I've gotten burned out or that I've quit. It's just I've been busy with other things. So without further ado, now that I got that out of the way, let's actually get to the bulk of the content in the video. I'm going to start out with this nice little Christmas card that I got from Travis Settings. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate that. A very Merry Christmas to you too, as well as a Happy New Year. This one, it kind of has like a Fargo sort of look to it, like a Fargo, North Dakota, because it's got the sewing pattern. And he said, the card says, "Have a wonderful season filled with homemade memories to cherish." And I definitely will do that. And I don't think I can show this on camera, but I did get a big ticket item with one of my paychecks. I got a brand new Samsung 4K TV. It's a 43-inch. Actually, no, it's 49. It's a 49-inch flat screen 4K television from Samsung. I love it. I do want to eventually get a 4K player because I actually have the Predator, not the Predator. I have Predator on Blu-ray, the 4K release, and I don't have anything to play it right now. And I want to get the most out of this TV. But already I've noticed a difference, a considerable difference between this TV and the previous TV I had. So I used to be the guy who's like, oh, what's the big deal about 4K? I could say it's a pretty it's a pretty big, considerable difference. After seeing with my own two eyes, seeing what stuff like RoboCop 2 looks like on Blu-ray, or even just Kolchak the Night Stalker, the TV show. Like, it's just a DVD, and it's up converted on the TV screen, and it looks better than I've ever seen it before. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend investing into getting a 4K TV sometime. Don't have to spend the giant big bucks if you don't want to. If you aren't someone who has, like, gotten the latest, greatest thing and has always been able to decipher between which TV has the various different features or the best picture or whatever from an angle, then something like the Samsung is fine. If you're super nitpicky about it, then it's probably not the best bet. But if you're not and you're just new to it, it's a much better way to spend your money than getting a TCL or some of the other cheaper brands. Now, definitely wanted to mention that because that was like one of the big things, and I'm really having a lot of fun with it. And speaking of Kolchak the Night Stalker, I will actually be reviewing that series, as well as the failed reboot series. But the thing what I'm going to do with those reviews is I'm going to record little short reviews of each episode on different days, and then once I'm done watching the whole series, I will edit them together. So there'll be like different outfits, different, you know, maybe I might have a different setup here. Might have like shaved off my beard, or might be bushier or whatever. Wearing a different shirt. It's just one of those things that makes it so I don't get burned out. Sit down for like an hour and talk about every episode of the show and run out of energy by the end. This way I can give the same amount of energy for each video, for each review, all into one package. So that'll be posted whenever I get done with watching Kolchak the Night Stalker. I am up to episode 5 right now, so I still got a ways to go. And then after I'm done with that, then I'll get started watching the failed reboot series, which I'm actually pretty curious about, despite its reputation, because I've never seen it. I've heard a lot of bad things about it, but I'm still kind of curious about it to see like how things go with it. But anyway, that's the game plan for any more Kolchak. And when it comes to the rest of my output on my channel, I'm going to be recording and posting reviews of Venom, which is definitely more of a rant. Venom is going to be the next one. Then I'm going to be doing reviews of Peppermint, which was disappointing, and Overlord, which I really enjoyed. So I'm going to get at least 3 reviews out there for you. There's a couple other reviews for some films I'd like to do, like Harry and the Hendersons. I want to get back to the Halloween marathon. It's just one of those things. I'll get to it when I get to it. I've been watching this documentary called Cropsy. I might do a quick little video about that pretty soon, because I actually want to just sit down and just watch titles from my collection, and you know, just random titles, like no pressure, no anything. Doesn't even necessarily have to be reviewed. Just stuff that I'm watching from my collection. Because, I mean, I got to start somewhere. I got to start sometime. I mean, I really do. Because I have so much. And if I don't get started, I don't think I'll ever be able to watch all of it. So anyway, enough dilly-dallying. Enough stalling. Let's get to the bulk of this video. So, this is the package from Johnathan Lindsey. I have not opened it yet. So this is going to be a live reaction for all of it. So here we go. Alright, so This is part one of a package he sent me. He's going to send a two-part package. He's going to send me two-part package, not packages. So this is really cool. The Nightmare Before Christmas, the classic on Blu-ray. Now this isn't like the limited edition, whatever version that came out recently. I could care less. This is a collector's edition. It's not the sing-along version. I don't really want the sing-along version. This is an upgrade over my DVD, and I think I might show this this Christmas or something. I think I'll probably try to review this this month sometime, because I do enjoy this movie. It's a classic. What's this? What's that? There's magic in the air. What's this? What's that? Yeah. So. I do like Jack Skellington, and I've always liked the music in this and the look of the film. So, yeah, I look forward to revisiting this, that's for sure. Aha, nice. Christmas Vacation on Blu-ray. I have this on DVD, but I've been wanting to get it on Blu-ray because it's an upgrade, and it's one of my favorite vacation films, favorite Chevy Chase films, and one of my favorite Christmas movies. So this will be fun, and we usually watch this at least once during the Christmas season, my family. So that's really cool. Oh, another one we would watch quite a bit is A Christmas Story. So that's really nice too. So many memories associated with watching this. Started out watching this on VHS. It's a film that my grandmother enjoyed, and so we would watch this quite a bit during the Christmas season. Long before it was considered to be this huge, popular Christmas movie that was on TV, like on a marathon. We were into Christmas Story before Christmas Story was a thing. Oh, cool. Home Alone. That's pretty awesome. Home Alone, the classic, another Christmas classic. Love this movie. This has all the features, I believe, that were on the DVD, so it's got a nice little upgrade in terms of that. Not in terms of upgrade in terms of the features, but in terms of like the DVD period. So it's going to look a little bit better on Blu-ray. Honestly, this is the only Home Alone film I really, really like. The second one I have fun with at times, but it's disappointing as a whole. But this one is still a classic, and it still holds up really well. Oh, nice. I was just thinking about this. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. To complete my Jurassic Park Blu-ray collection. Because I recently got a bunch of them separately. I got all the separate releases because, honestly, I got a good deal on them. And as a collector, I just prefer to have them separately instead of in a box set if it is at all possible. So, that's really cool. And I like this one. I actually legitimately like this movie. I liked it a lot more than Jurassic World, and I think it's a little bit underrated, to be honest. So, thank you, Jonathan. Alright, so now we're getting to the update portion where I show off a bunch of stuff that I picked up recently. Now, this is out of its slipcase, the box that it came in, because I just personally prefer it to just be out of the box, because it looks a lot better. And what I'm talking about is Batman, the complete animated series. The limited edition, the deluxe limited edition. I absolutely adore this series, especially the first two seasons. To me, it's arguably the best animated anything that I've ever seen. And I've been waiting for this to get a remastered Blu-ray release for years. And I can definitely say that Warner Brothers did not disappoint here. They really did kick some ass and knock it out of the park. If you are at all a fan of this series, you should already have this, and if you don't, you should get it for sure, 100%. Now, the box that it comes in, it has like some photos and stuff like that. I think it's like they're like a holographic. I think it's like lenticular. They're lenticular photos. And little mini Funko Pops and everything. But, so this is disc 1. So you have season 1, disc 1, and then you have season 2, I mean, season 1, disc 2, and then season 1, disc 3, and then you have disc 4 of season 1, and then you have season 1, disc 5. Yeah, season 1 is really long, as you can see. There's 65 episodes in season 1 alone. Disc 1 for season 2, and then you have disc 2 for season 2, and then season 3, disc 1. This is when Robin started to show up and became the new adventure, like not the new adventures, it became the Adventures of Batman and Robin. I believe that's what they retitled it. Season 3, disc 2, and then you have a bonus disc, which has a bunch of stuff there. Actually, no, that's the New Adventures one. Is season 3. I don't know why they used this particular art design, because this art design is not in season 3. There's a bonus disc that has the Heart of Batman, which is exclusive for this particular release. Then you have Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is included in here, as well as Sub-Zero. And apparently there's a special feature, I guess, on Sub-Zero, which is the entire Mr. Freeze saga, all in chronological order. And then here's some more of a look at the set. The discs, they slide out. It's a book, so they slide out like on top. I haven't really had any issues with them getting scratched or anything. Blu-rays normally don't scratch anyway, so you have to try really hard to do that. So I like it. I like the book presentation. It's really unique. I love the way that this is designed. If you get it in the right light, you can actually see that there's different designs and stuff on here. It's not just straight black. You have like Batman and then Robin and Penguin and stuff like that. And you have some more stuff on the back there. Like there's Two-Face, if you can see him, and Harley Quinn, and so on and so forth. So it's just a really well-designed set. And yeah, and the transfers are just fantastic. So really, really cool. One of these days, I'm going to get around to reviewing this series. Maybe definitely sometime in 2019. Guaranteed. Sometime in 2019. So that's it for the Blu-ray set. I'm going to show some more Blu-rays that I got from various different places. Got this off eBay of all places, and it actually came shipped in like a legitimate non-eBay like envelope. This is Shockma. This is the German release, so this doesn't have the same features that the Code Red release does, but it was a lot cheaper, and that's why I got it, because it was way cheaper than the Code Red release, which goes for like $30, $35. So I've heard a lot of good things about this from good friends of mine, so I always wanted to add this to my collection, and I have a region-free player, so I can play this. And I actually don't mind the cover art. I actually think it's pretty cool. I like the cover art there. Judge Dredd, I got it because it was super cheap. For the Stallone collection and for the Stallone's Law Making of Judge Dredd featurette that's on this Blu-ray. And to be honest, there are some visuals in this that are pretty awesome. The production and art design I've always liked, so I think it'll look pretty cool on Blu-ray. And there are aspects of this movie that I don't mind, and so that's another reason why I decided to pick it up. And it was super cheap. Time Cop, this is a UK release, but another item that I got for cheap, and I love this film. It's a shame that there's no features at all for this movie. It was the most successful film critically and financially, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, and for some reason, nope. No features, no nothing, not even the music video. And for the longest time, you could only get it in widescreen on DVD if you bought it in a 2-pack with Bloodsport. And then that still continued when it came out on Blu-ray in the US, because in order to get it on Blu-ray in the US, you had to also buy the same double feature set with Bloodsport, but this time it's on Blu-ray. So that's another reason why I got this, is because it was cheap. A US seller was selling it, so I decided to grab it. So I have Time Cop separately on Blu-ray instead of in that double pack. Speaking of great films like Time Cop, The Running Man. Got this for a good deal. This is the All of Films release. This is one of the more recent releases of the film on Blu-ray. It's got an audio commentary with the director, but another film that deserves a better release in terms of features, because the original Artisan release is a piece of shit and had features that had nothing to do with the movie, and we're just talking about reality TV shows. This one, it was brand new, decent price, and I actually don't mind the cover art, actually, and I think it's a little bit better transfer than Artisans as well. So, and I'm a big fan of this movie, so I definitely wanted to get it on Blu-ray. The Running Man. Other films that I'm really keen on, One Good Cop. This was on sale recently on Amazon. It was like, I think, $11.99 for that, as well as Firebirds. So I got them. As soon as they were announced by Kino Lorber, they were immediately on my wish list. Really underrated movie. Love this flick. This comes with a commentary track with director Haywood Gould. It also has a 5.1 surround sound track and 2.0, as well as some trailers and stuff. But not a whole lot of features, no interviews with Michael Keaton or anything. But it's nice to have this on Blu-ray separately, not in a 2-pack with another film. Firebirds, I think this is an underrated, fun movie. Really fun, underrated action flick. If you like Top Gun, definitely check out Firebirds. It's Top Gun with helicopters. That's really what it is. I'm not too keen on this cover art, though. It might have been the original poster, but I prefer the original, like, home video poster with the sun and the orange background and stuff like that with the helicopters. I prefer that cover art way more than this. This looks really washed out. So there's those two. I got, these are bootleg releases I got from a seller, but I got a really good deal on them. Garfield and Friends, the complete series. Yes, it's all in one disc, which is kind of, you know, wow, kind of a red flag, but it's a Blu-ray, so it can fit a lot of stuff on it. The show was only released on DVD, so it's not like it's available in HD anyway. And I checked them out. They look pretty decent in terms of picture quality, so they looked alright. Definitely watchable. And buying the DVD sets nowadays is expensive. So I really enjoy this show. I've always liked Garfield, and this is still the best version of the show out there. I'm not super keen on the U.S. Acres stuff. I mean, it's okay, but I definitely prefer the Garfield shorts on Garfield and Friends than the stuff with the farm animals. Speaking of animals, The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Now, I did see Christopher Robin. I was kind of just, man, I might do a video about it. I don't know yet. But what I remember watching as a kid was this, The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And this Blu-ray, this bootleg set, if you're a fan of this show, you need to find it somewhere, wherever it's being sold, and pick it up, because it features the HD versions of the episodes that were aired, I think, somewhere in Russia, and the picture quality is stunning. It really is. It's really amazing. So, and it's better than anything that's on the internet, because all the other stuff that's on the internet to stream is VHS rips. Disney's never going to release this officially on Blu-ray. Never going to happen. Same thing for Garfield and Friends. That's another reason why I got it too, is because this isn't getting a release on Blu-ray. So, but yeah, with The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, if you're a fan of this show, definitely try to track this down. I'm not kidding. The transfers are amazing. For a bootleg, it's pretty stunning. So, got those. Not done yet. Still got plenty to show here. Arizona with Danny McBride, Rosemary DeWitt, and Luke Wilson. I really enjoyed this film. This is one of my favorite films of this year. I think critics gave it a bad rap. I think it's honestly a pretty underrated gem. And I'd want to watch it again sometime and do a review someday down the road to see if it still holds up the second time around. But I really liked it, so that's why I decided to pick it up for the collection. The Mask of Zorro on Blu-ray. I love this film. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. I saw this in the theater when I was a kid. This is easily my favorite Antonio Banderas film. And I've always been wanting to upgrade my DVD. Now, what I did here is this was originally a 2-disc. This was not a 2-disc. This was just a single-disc release. I had a spare 2-disc case, and I decided to use that. And I put the soundtrack CD in there. So I have like an unofficial, like, Ultimate Collector's Edition of Mask of Zorro on Blu-ray now. So I have the Blu-ray as well as the soundtrack disc all in one set. And since I got the Mask of Zorro, might as well also picked up The Legend of Zorro. So I picked this one up too. This is such a letdown. But for whenever I get around to reviewing these films, because I did review them in the past, but I had to delete them due to copyright reasons, now I have Legend of Zorro. Such a letdown, but for the collection, why not? And it wasn't too expensive. The rest I got here are some more Blu-rays. And after these Blu-rays, I still have some DVDs to show you. And I'm going to try to go through those as fast as I can. I don't want to keep you guys here forever. Like I said, I'm going to tack on something at the end of this. So this is probably going to be even longer than 50 minutes. But I haven't really shown things in a while. And I haven't really talked to you guys in a while. So that's the reason why this is a little bit longer than normal. So I picked this up from a YouTube, not from a YouTube seller, from a Facebook seller. I don't know if YouTube sellers even exist. And finally got this on Blu-ray. I absolutely love this film. And I've only had it on DVD for the longest time. So I'm really psyched to get this on Blu-ray. And it came with a slipcover too. And I didn't pay a fortune for it. So, yeah. So this is the John Carpenter's The Fog. The Scream Factory release. It's got a new transfer of the film. As well as a bunch of other features and stuff. A lot of ways a definitive version to own of the movie. I know there's like a UK release in 4K, but I haven't bothered to get that. Revenge, 2018 film I've heard about, but I haven't seen yet. Heard good things about it. I heard it's like bloody as hell and got a lot of style to it. And Amazon had like a deal to get this for like $8 during Black Friday, so it was like a really good deal, so I picked it up. So that's Revenge. And then these are the Walmart exclusive VHS slipcover releases. Silent Rage. This is a standalone Blu-ray of Silent Rage, which is really awesome. It's so fucking cool to get a standalone Blu-ray of Silent Rage instead of having it in a multi-pack. I hope they release one of Blind Fury, because that would make it, you know, because I don't really care about White Line Fever. Who's Harry Crumb, which is my favorite John Candy, which is my favorite John Candy movie, and this is the first time it's been released on Blu-ray. So Who's Harry Crumb, Kroll, which I really enjoy. This is a really fun movie. Fairly underrated fantasy flick. I enjoy this movie quite a bit. I already reviewed the film on my channel, so if you're curious about my thoughts on the film, just search Kroll in the search box on my channel. This transfer's okay. This film deserves a better release than Mill Creek, though. I mean, it's an alright transfer. I love the fact that it has the VHS cover art, though. I love that about it. But it doesn't even port over the features from the DVD. Happy Birthday to Me. Only had it on DVD, and it's for the collection. It was cheap. I got it mainly because it's for this particular collection, because I like these covers. Last Action Hero, another film that deserves a better release. I would love to see Arrow release this like they're doing one with Waterworld, where you have like some just jam-packed limited edition with like tons of features, because the making of this film is every bit as intriguing as the making of Waterworld. And this is a better cover art than what you had initially, I think. This is still okay. I mean, this is better than the original Blu-ray release cover art. So, Last Action Hero. And then the last one that I got it fairly recently, was Hard Bodies. It's a cheesecake movie from the 80s. So, yeah, what's pretty cool about these two is that on the sides, you could set them up. When you set them on a shelf like this, they look like they have the VHS labels and stuff right there too. So, as a collector, VHS and other things like that, it's just really cool to have. You know, Mill Creek. This is a really fun thing that they decided to do. They're gonna do more of them too in the future. I think they're doing one for Sheena, and I don't know what the other ones are gonna be. So that's my collection so far of those. And now we're getting to the last couple Blu-rays, which are Vinegar Syndrome's release of The Children. Some creepy ass fucking cover art. Like, they really outdid themselves here. Vinegar Syndrome did. I mean, this is really, really pretty fucking eerie, pretty creepy looking. I really enjoy this film. It's a nice exploitation film. It's not the greatest movie ever, but there's a lot to like about it in terms of its tone, in terms of the fact that it really does not hold back when it comes to like kids literally like killing their parents and like burning them alive and shit. And this is the best transfer of the film that you will ever see, because this has a newly scanned and restored negative and 2K. It's got like a ton of different features. It's got an audio commentary with the director. It's got archival audio commentary with the producer. It's got childhood memories, making the children, a new interview with the director. With the producer Carlton J. Albright, and production manager David Platt. Return to Raven's Back, a newly produced locations that are now featurette. The lost scene, audio from a lost scene in the film, archival video interview with the producer, memories of the children, archival featurettes, making the children, an archival featurette, and then apparently there was a musical rendition of the children that was made by some guy named Stan Richardson, which is also included on here. I think those are the features that were on the original DVD release from Troma. So, yeah, I reviewed this a long time ago, but I definitely wouldn't mind revisiting this and maybe doing a different review. I don't know. I will say this. Vinegar Syndrome, like, this is just really high quality. Even the slipcover is thicker than normal slipcovers. Like, it's really high quality. Like, it's not cheap at all. And they really went all out with this one. Now, they also came out with a release, I believe, of Mausoleum recently, but that film's okay, but it doesn't have the same chills and as The Children does. But I mean, look, even their eyes in the right light, they flicker. Did you see that? Look at that, the guy up top. Yeah, it is such a freaky cover, but it's a freaky movie, so it fits. So The Children. And then I finally got Creepshow, the Scream Factory release. As you all know, I'm one of the biggest fans of this film out there, and I did not have it on Blu-ray. So I have Just Desserts already, so I didn't. It's not like I needed to get the featurette that's not even included on here. The feature length making of. I will say this: ever since Shout Factory has switched their manufacturers, because they've had to cut back, because not really cut back, but they had to do something different because something happened with the one that was in the U.S. Their quality's kind of started to dip. This feels cheap to me. I don't like the cover art, for one. I really something about the design just doesn't really work. Does not work for me. Using the font on the back here looks really cheap too. I understand why they did it because it's like Creepshow, but I would have preferred something more traditional. As you can see, Vinegar Syndrome, just a normal, regular print font. Vinegar Syndrome is not a major retailer like Shout Factory is. And they put out like a infinitely times better product in terms of the cover art, the slip cover, in terms of the way it looks. This just feels cheap. This feels like it's supposed to be, you pay extra money for this. They were charging $40 for this. And I finally only got this because it was on sale for like $27.99 on Amazon. Even that's a little bit much. Compared to, and even the case feels a little cheap too. I don't like this. I don't know why it had to be red. And it looks really faded. Like, why don't they just use the original poster art that was on the Warner Brothers release of the film? And, or, you know, they do have the slipcover though for the comic book version one. But I've always liked this, the theatrical poster version, the best, and it just isn't the best version of it. I don't know why the font is red instead of white. It just doesn't really, I don't know why that's the case. And you have reversible cover art like the other ones. So you have the comic book version. And then, of course, the same information that's on the back is repeated here. Now you have an absolutely wonderful print of the film, which is worth owning this alone, because it's a 4K scan of the original camera negative. You have a roundtable a roundtable discussion with members of the cast and crew, an interview with the costume designer Barbara Anderson, who's talking about the comic book look, colors of Creepshow, look at the restoration of Creepshow with Michael Gornick, which seems like a really, I mean, I don't know, but it might be interesting, but it seems like a pretty weak feature. Audio commentary with director George A. Romero and Tom Savini, which is included on the 2-disc DVD from the UK and on the second sight release of the film. Audio interviews with Michael Gornick, actor John Amplas, property master Bruce Allen Miller, makeup effects assistant Daryl Ferrucci, Tom Savini's behind-the-scenes footage, which I think is on the Just Desserts release, Horror's Hollow Grounds, a look at the original locations today, deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, TV spot, radio spots, still galleries, and more. When you compare this to other collector's editions and the price tag, it's not really as big of a deal. I mean, yes, you do have this little book, which is cool too, because it talks a little bit more about the film. It has some nice photos and everything. And as a fan of the film, I was really waiting for something like this. So, and it's a decent attempt, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that it's just not worth $40. This cost me like $28, and for even cheaper, the second sight release of the Changeling. And if you really want to see a much better release of a Creepshow film, look no further than Arrow Video's release of Creepshow 2. Like, look at the high quality of this. I mean, this is a work of art. Like, this is great. Well, Arrow Video is just at the top of their game anyway. But, I mean, Arrow is amazing. This is just infinitely times better. There's actual weight to it. The case doesn't feel flimsy. And yeah, the case doesn't feel flimsy at all. And then you have the book, even the booklet, which is actually the comic, is in very high quality in terms of its printing compared to the one that is in the Shout Factory release. So it's night and day. Synapse, their release of Just Desserts, this has the same audio interviews, I believe, that are on the Scream Factory release. It's got an interview with the director of photography, which is not on there. Extended interview segments with George Romero, Tom Savini, Bernie Wrightson. It has the Horrors Hollow Grounds thing, which is originally on this release. And it also has Scream Greats, Volume 1 with Tom Savini, and a vintage 1982 Evening Magazine segment shot on the set of the film. So, if you have this, you have all of the great features on the making of Creepshow. So, that's why this not having that, or having all the features that are on the other release, it just makes it a little disappointing, especially for the price tag. If this costs $25 retail at the start, then that's fine. But no, they were charging $40 for this, and it's a ripoff. So I'm sorry about that little rant there, but I had to get that off my chest because it's just a ripoff, period. So anyway, that's it for the Blu-rays. I still have these DVDs to show, and this is already a really long video. I'm gonna power through these real quick. So we got Sometimes They Come Back, the Olive Films release, 13 Sins, Demonia, Lucio Fulci film, Neon Maniacs, Code Red release, Blue Underground double features, Contamination and The Shape of Things to Come, Cannonball and Fast Company, which is a racing movie that was directed by David Cronenberg of all people, Rats, Night of Terror and Venom, Dragon World, The Legend Continues. I thought this was the original Dragon World, but apparently this is some shitty sequel with Drake Bell. I got it because I thought it was the original Dragon World, which I remember watching when I was a kid. But no, it's a sequel, which apparently is a piece of shit. So Dragon World never got an actual DVD release, but the shitty sequel did. Go figure. Trespass with Bill Paxton and company. Piranhas, which is an overseas release of Piranha, the 1995 remake of Piranha. So this is the last Piranha film that I needed for my Piranha collection, Piranha movies. Speaking of those, this is Roger Corman's cult classic release. I believe Piranha was one of those. So you have David Carradine and Stallone and a bunch of other people in Death Race 2000. Galaxy of Terror. Lethal Ladies collection with Firecracker, TNT Jackson, and Too Hot to Handle. 3 releases that have been on my wish list for years. The Real Ghostbusters, Volume 3, the last Time Life release that was released in retail because the sales weren't very good. And this is the hardest one to find, and I got it for like dirt cheap on eBay. Some guy didn't know what he was selling or didn't care and sold them for like $10 each. Brand new. This has the last of the non-Q5 seasons, as well as a little bit of the first edition of that. So this has this has the entire rest, I believe, of the second season. Yeah. The rest of the second season, which is all the best episodes, are the first and second season. So I'm just fine with having those on DVD instead of the box set, because that's expensive. Hardcore on DVD with George C. Scott. Got a good deal on it. I know there's a Blu-ray out there, but it's pretty expensive. Club Paradise, Robin Williams, Rick Moranis. A multi-pack that I got for cheap because of a few things. I mean, you got like 8 movies, and it's one of those older Lionsgate releases, so a lot of these aren't going to get releases again, like Touch and Go with Michael Keaton, Date with an Angel. Beach Bodies multi-pack from Mill Creek, which has Side Out, Spring Break, Hard Bodies, Love Lines, Calendar Girl, and Private Resort. Supergirl Director's Cut from Anchor Bay. Heavenly Creatures, the uncut version, Peter Jackson film that barely nobody talks about, which is actually really good. Victor Frankenstein, because it was super cheap. It was like $1. X of Humanity for the cast, and it's a zombie film that takes place in the Civil War. One Crazy Summer with John Cusack. Dead Doll, which apparently this actress, Romy Cloak, she just absolutely fucking disappeared and has been missing ever since this film came out. Like, there's a crazy, real, like, true story behind this. Summer School, the Life's a Beach edition with really shitty cover art. Well, my chair, of course. This time, let's do that. This chair, every now and then, it will, like, just give out. I have to fiddle around with a knob in order to get it to, like, stand up again. Alright, so Colossal, Stretch. Never heard of this film. I like Patrick Wilson, and it looked kind of interesting. Gone Baby Gone, because I believe somebody requested this for the request list, which I haven't forgotten about. I just haven't been able to get back to it yet. But I plan on doing that in 2019. The Strangers and The Strangers Pray at Night. I got this because this was like $1. It had the sequel in it, so I got it for the sequel. And I don't really, you know, care about The Strangers, but it was super cheap. Vacation for the Vacation collection. Dark Mirror. Cannibal Ferox. The price wasn't too bad, and it's for the collection of 80s horror films. The Nice Guys. I'm sorry, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Bulletproof, Gary Busey and Henry Silva. SNL, Best Of with David Spade. Cold Prey. Porky's, the Ultimate Collection. So it has all of the Porky's films. Porky's One Size Fits All Edition, as well as Porky's The Next Day and Porky's Revenge. And the last DVDs over here are ones I got very recently. Richie Rich with Macaulay Culkin. Really like this film. Been trying to get this DVD for a long time. Finally got it. Roller Coaster. The Hunted with Christopher Lambert. The Musketeer. Triple feature with Easy A and Bounty Hunter and Friends with Benefits. X-Files, I Want to Believe This Movie Doesn't Suck for the X-Files collection. And 9. As well as Robot Chicken Season 2. Got it for $1. And Doctor Strangelove. How I Stopped Worrying. Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. The 2-disc special edition. So that's it. That's it for the DVDs. And that's it for all the stuff that I picked up recently. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, I will see you later. See ya.